All right, Archons, Brobner89 back with another groundbreaking discovery here on Cull the Weak. Let's see what Dark Tidings is bringing us today. They that soothes Howls. Oh, that's nice. I guess they're a friend of wolves. Okay. They that soothes Howls. Logos. Saurian. Untamed. Soothing Howls, that kind of makes sense for Untamed here. How are we going to open this one? Okay, there we go. It's a puzzle. Each time you get to this part of the deck opening, you got to try to figure out how to get it out of this stupid plastic. Alrighty. Ruins of Arkansas is our first card in the deck here. Got an Amber Pip on it. It's an artifact. Play, put 4 Amber onto it. And after a player plays their 6th card in a turn, if it's ready, you get to move the Amber from... move each Amber from Ruins of Arkansas into that player's pool. It also lets you archive a card when you play it. So we need a big archiving or draw mechanic in our logos here to make that viable. Bouncing Deathquark, excellent card. Destroy an enemy creature and a friendly creature, and you get to repeat it as long as the... for as long as you want, as long as both are still possible. Really strong card for removal. I love it. Mechabooey, artifact, Amber Pip. At the start of each player's turn, if the tide is high for that player, they gain 1. Great if you're playing offset. Great if you have more tide control than your opponent. Otherwise, not so great. Nuevo Archaeologist, 4 power, action, archive a card from your discard pile. Very strong card. Armadrone, 1 power, 3 armor, fight, steal 1. P.I. Sweven, 2 power, reap if the tide is high, draw 3 cards. That could help out with Ruins of Arkansas. Science, for the remainder of the turn, after you play another action card, gain 1. I've gotten a lot of Science recently that have had very few actions in logos. So far, only 1. So maybe another case of a dead Science. Oh, great, a second Science, so I can gain 1. A third Science. Okay, so the third one gains 2. So, I mean, all right. Static Charge has got an Amber Pip on it. This creature gains at the start of your turn. Deal 2 damage to each of this creature's neighbors. It is not an action. It is an upgrade. Submersive Principle. No. No. This is an action card. So you gain 1 when you play with Science, or, 3 if you play 3 Sciences. But each player loses 1. If the tide is high, each player loses half their Amber instead. Really weird with the, the 3 Science. Talmage Steelheart, not an action. 3 power, play. Give Talmage Steelheart a +1 power counter for each card you have played this turn, including this one. And that's the end of Logos. I just have to look back at this. Bouncing Deathquark. Okay, that's 1 action. 3 Science, Submersive Principle. Okay, so best case scenario, I mean, you probably just don't play Submersive. Like, if you're going to do Submersive Principle, you do it first, right? You do it before you do the Sciences, or... And I guess not, actually. No, because it's always more. So, like, if I have 3 Amber... and I play 3 Sciences, and then I play Submersive Principle. Oh no! Then I lose. Geez, math hard. There's 2, so I'd be up to 5 after playing 3 Sciences, 6 after playing 3 Sciences, and then I play Submersive Principle, and I gain 3. I'm up to 9, and then I'm cut down to 5. So then if I have 3 and I play Submersive Principle, I'm down to 2, and then I play these 3 Sciences, and then I'm up to 8. So that's better. So yeah, it just, confusing, difficult. I wish there were some more actions in here, because as it is, I mean, there's some burst potential if you can get them to go off together, but that's weird. That's very weird. All right, Brachiodontist 9 power deploy. Stun each of Brachiodontist neighbors and move 1 amber from each of them to the common supply. Interesting. Hopefully we have that bear that unstuns things. Pterodactyl enters play stun. Pterodactyl only deals 4 damage with fighting. Before fight, deal 4 damage to each of Pterodactyl's neighbors, or to each of the neighbors that the creature Pterodactyl fights. Wipe clear 1 amber pip on it. Deal 1 damage to each creature. Destroy each. Upgrade. Sensor Philo, 5 power. Sensor Philo cannot be dealt damage by creatures with amber on them. Magister Vita's 5 power. Play Reap. You may exalt a friendly non-siren creature. If you do, reap with it. Ostracize. Lose 1 amber. If you do, purge a creature. Second Ostracize. Reach advantage. Play if the tide is high, a friendly creature captures 3. Otherwise, raise the tide. Spoils of Battle. A friendly creature captures 1. Each creature with amber on it captures 1 from its opponent. Very strong card. Undeck Nathis, 12 power while the tide is low. Undeck Nathis deals no damage when fighting. And Venator Altum, 7 power, 2 armor. After Venator Altum is dealt damage, if the tide is low, exalt Venator Altum. A second one of those. Wow, interesting. Interesting. So that works somewhat with Spoils of Battle because you can get amber onto them if you need to capture. Reach advantage. Magister Vita is pretty good with Spoils of Battle. Spreads that amber out, and then you get to reap with stuff. Brachiodontist is okay with all of this capturing, but stunning the neighbors, that's a high price to pay. I mean, unless you think that they're not going to make it anyways, like if it's on the Talmage or, the Armadrone or something you think is not going to, P.I. Swevin, something you think is not going to stick around anyway. Or you can just hit them with Bouncing Deathquark on your next turn and it's okay that they're stunned. Interesting indeed. Venator Altum, I guess Brachiodontist is pretty good with Venator Altum. Interesting. On to Untamed, everybody's favorite Bumblebird, 1 power alpha. Give 2+1 power counters to each other friendly untamed creature. Hopefully we have some way to take advantage of power counters here. All tied up, amber pip on an action. Play if the tide is high, gain 1. Otherwise, raise the tide. Assert dominance. For the remainder of your turn, a friendly creature gains skirmish. Ready and fight with that creature. Armadrone is in here, so that's nice to have. That's a nice little combo there. A Pterodactyl would be pretty good if it's unstunned. That's some good fighting ability for you. These guys are big and they can just take out anything, so that's okay. Chelonia, nice. 2 power elusive. After you play another creature, if the tide is high, gain 1. Deepwater Grua and play Reap. If the tide is low, your opponent gains 1. Big burst potential here. Mookling, your opponent's keys cost +X, where X is Mookling's power. Goes nicely with the Bumblebird if you can get it to fire. Milobee, before fight, enrage the creature. Milobee fights and each of that creature's neighbors, and it has skirmish while the tide is high. A second Milobee. Persistence Hunting, choose a house, exhaust each enemy creature of the chosen house, or Reap or Sow, ready and reap with a friendly creature. Give 3+1 power counters to creatures distributed as you choose. That could be very good with the Mookling. Increase that key cost for your opponent. I'm trying to see if there's anything that's especially good for reaping off house here. I don't think so. P.I. Swevin, I guess, would be pretty nice. That's it, though. The Fittest. Give each friendly creature a +1 power counter. And Witch of the Dawn. Return a creature from your discard pile to your hand. Going to be very happy to use that. With the Gruin. Not sure what else would really be great. Mookling could be helpful. Chelonia could be good. Okay. Yeah, this is interesting. All right. So let's take a look at the pips. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, I think this is a bit of an undercount. You'll probably get something off of science, but with how few, not a ton of efficiency and very few actions in here, I don't think you're going to get much off of science. And when you do, it's like one science boosts another, so you get one. So yeah, and effervescent or submersive principle is one of your few actions. So yeah, I think the sciences are kind of 3 dead cards in the middle of your Logos house. Very unfortunate to see. Yeah, so the Amber, I think, could be a challenge. You're going to need to stick around. You're going to need to reap. Let's see how many creatures we have to do that with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Not too shabby. But yeah, I mean, you're going to need to do a lot of reaping because there's not a lot of other hidden ways to get Amber. We do have Chelonia and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 untamed creatures. A little bit of a bonus with Witch of the Dawn. You can bring back a creature that was already played. Bumblebird I'm not going to count with Chelonia because it's alpha. So while you could play it on a future turn with your Chelonia, there's just not too many ways to keep Chelonia around. And there's a good chance your opponent just takes care of it. So yeah, difficult. Board control. We do have ways to make our creatures bigger. Probably going to mostly put that into Mookling for some Amber control. Assert dominance, board control. There's one. These are fighters. Ostracize, 2, 3. Not going to count wipe clear. Static charge, that counts for something. Not a ton. Bouncing Death Quirk, very solid. Just not a ton of cards that do too much board control. If we're just counting cards that strictly remove things, that's only 4 cards. Bouncing Death Quirk is, of course, excellent, but again, probably not enough here. And if we look at Amber control, I think we're going to be in a very sad situation. We have Mookling with some bonus things, and Witch of the Dawn to bring it back, but it only goes so far. Spoils of Battle, reach advantage. Submersive Principle. So there is some potential here, right? Like you can load up with reach advantage and Spoils of Battle. You could load up some of your creatures. You can blow them up with the Bouncing Death Quirk and then cut your opponent's Amber in half with the Submersive Principle. But it's going to be very hard to line all that up properly every time. There's very little efficiency in this deck. I would be very concerned. It's not like it's particularly lacking in any one thing. Kind of okay in a lot of stuff, but it's definitely just going to be a bit slow and going to struggle, I think, to make it work here. So that is They That Soothes Howls. There it is. They That Soothes Howls. This has been another edition of Groundbreaking Discovery here on Cull the Weak, and I will catch you next time.